sensations who have worked many, many years in the business. The song is called In the Dark. Here is Mr. Billy Squier. Gentlemen. Billy Squier.
Everybody, have you heard how they dance again? Yeah, the strokes to word. I don't take no rhythm, I don't take no style. You got a thirst for killing, grab your body. Give a handshake, wait for me. Let's break. keep it all in place. Won't you work your way right into my cave? Try to bend me, rap both sides. Find you blame me, still alright. Keep on, shuffling. Give me the business all night long. Shuffling. Oh, you're so together, boy. Say I'll win a million now. So.
I read an interview with you somewhere where you said that you were surprised to be in the top 10. Why were you surprised? I mean, you certainly have confidence.
Well, I wasn't trying to be self-depreciating. I just, I don't think that when you start out doing this, it's very wise to set those kind of goals because you kind of leave yourself open to be disappointed. If you put out a product and say, well, I expect this will be a platinum record or top 10 record, then if it isn't, even if it's close, you may suffer for it. So for me, I was very proud of the record, and I knew that it was going to do for me much more than any of my previous efforts, but I didn't want to come out and start thinking in such
You were
terms.
also quoted as saying that the album that came out during the summertime, In the Dark,
The album's called Don't Say No,
All right.
and yeah, In the Dark is from that.
that if this album didn't do something, you were considering possibly switching careers.
Yeah, I was thinking about maybe being a talk show host.
There are a lot of openings on after we go off the air, you know. But had you really thought about chucking it in? Or Steving it in?
Well, I've said it before, and I think that...
and you'll say it again, right?
Well, I hope not. I hope that that's passed. But, I mean, you go through a lot of frustrating times and a lot of lean years. I think that we all go through, as you mentioned before. And I felt so strongly about this record, as I said, that if it had not met with at least a certain modicum of success, I don't think I would have known what to do. That's what I meant, that I felt so good about it in relation to me. And as a,
You ever think about how long you can do rock and roll? You've been hanging out for
I don't
10
think about it as much as other people. I mean, I get asked that a lot. And I tend to think you can do it as long as you feel good about it. I mean, the best example of the Stones. I mean, 40-year-old men, the #1 record. You know, I mean, you can do it as long as you want. You can get, I don't know how long I can because my life could change.
I think that something happens after a while. Now, the Stones, you say, are 40-year-old men.
Well, not all of them. I don't want to...
All right, but there are some guys on there who are
Yeah.
entering the second half, as they politely say in television.
Aging very gracefully.
Yes, yes, moving slowly up the conveyor belt to the final Gestaponation, right. Death, after all, is nature's way of telling one to slow down, isn't it? Yeah. But the week that Bill Haley died, we had the Comets in here. And something didn't fit when I saw guys that are really gray doing Rock Around the Clock. I mean, the music was great, and their attitude was super, and they were great, but something, I said to myself, a generation is passing us by here. Something's changing before our eyes, and I wonder if we really know that it's changing.
It's difficult, I think, for to put your finger on that in a general term such as that. I think some things do get passed by, and I don't think all of us can go on forever, say, as the Stones would do or a band like The Who, but I think as long as the feeling exists, I don't think age really becomes a factor. If you really look at it historically, most of the acts who are popular nowadays are much older. When I was growing up, most of the bands which I idolized were very close to my age. I mean, if I was 15 years old, they were 20, 21. Most of the bands now are my age or older. I'm 31. And most, in the top 20, even the top 50, most of the acts are older. So it must therefore follow that the age is not a factor in and by itself.
Okay. You and I would both agree that Pat Benatar is not exactly chopped liver. You know, top talent, top star. And she appeared here in New York.
I promised her I wouldn't talk about any of our private lives.
You were the opening act.
Yes.
And one of the newspapers here gave you raves, and they were rather unkind to Miss Benatar. Do you ever have any embarrassment when that sort of thing happens? I know it's a sensitive area, but...
no, I mean, I take it as a compliment to myself, and I think that when you're in a position such as she is in, people start gunning for you. I mean, when you get to the top, there's only one way to go, in spite of anything you do. It's very hard to stay there, and I've noticed that even in my own brief but illustrious career, that, I mean, when we were in England, for instance, well, I had never had any success in England at all, and the press was very, very kind to me. They loved me. They wrote great reviews and about how sincere I was, and you know, the heart of rock and roll. I went back. We played this big festival there in August called the Reading Festival, which is one of the traditional. It's been there for 20 years, and it's one of just the traditional great festival. And we played it, and we went over a storm. We were the special guest. I got 3 encores. Went over a storm. The next day, the paper slandered me ruthlessly. You know, just a complete turnabout. So I think in case, it doesn't mean it happens all the time, but when you get to that level, you become a little bit more suspect, or people are, you know, they view you in a little bit harsher light. So, and I think for someone like Pat, who's very intelligent and certainly been around quite a bit, I don't think that she was particularly bothered by that.
Good.
I don't think it changed her life.
Good. Now, this next number is called The Stroke, and it's from the album which is called, because I have a wrong notation here, Don't Say No.
That's right.
Don't Say No. So, if I can take this away from you, you can take yourself away from here.
Are we ready?
Yes, we are. Would you please welcome back with the first hit single, top 10 record called The Stroke, Billysquire.
Everybody, have you heard? How they dance